Welcome to the Daily Debrief, an inside look at today's big story. I'm Jason Dinant with KTNV Digital, and today we're taking a look inside Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department's felony Animal Cruelty Unit with anchor Kelsey McFarland. Hey, Kelsey, how you doing today?
Hey, thanks for joining me, Jason.
The story that you did earlier today, this morning, it's really something that touches a lot of people's hearts and emotion, and that is animal cruelty and abuse right here in the Las Vegas Valley. Now, the story really focused on the lack of an additional detective in that crime unit. Can you just give me a little bit more background on what that lack of an extra officer does to that unit?
It first caught my attention when I saw that petition circulating online asking for the Las Vegas Metro Police Department to hire another detective. At one point, they had two. One left, and due to budget constraints, as I mentioned in the story, they couldn't hire another one. But what they've seen now, animal advocates say that they have seen some delay in cases that they find really, really important. So when they see witnesses not being interviewed or surveillance video not being gathered because maybe there's not enough people on the ground to go door knocking and really spend the day looking into things, because there's just one man for all of the Las Vegas metropolitan area. So they're hoping for two, just so that they can see some faster justice, because they're not liking seeing the delay in the investigations.
We have had citizens reach out and ask us, what can they do? Did Metro give you any suggestions on what the general public can do in these investigations as for help?
Yeah, Metro says that they often have a lot of well-meaning citizens that want to jump in and help them with their investigations, but that it can actually cause a bit of a problem for them, sometimes messing up evidence or getting in the way of the chain of command that is very specific to certain things. They said the best thing that people can do is, if you see something, just say something. You can be their eyes and ears. So rather than gathering evidence for them, maybe take a video if you see something and sending that into the department, or just writing in an email with specific things on what you saw, so that they can put their feet on the ground and check it out. Because they said more often than not, when people try to help, sometimes it can do the opposite.
Also, so many people in the community they want to help out with these rescues. And, once an animal has been abused and they are rescued, they want to help, but they don't know where to go, what to do. Is there any advice that you learned on how to help out those community organizations that help the abused animals?
Yeah, the rescue that I featured in the story, Vegas Pet Rescue Project, you may also see them during our Pet of the Week segment during the weekends. They often take in these animals that have been abused or neglected, and they put so much money into their medical care trying to get them rehabbed. And to be honest, they've dealt with a lot of grief recently, losing some of these animals when they get to them too late. So the first thing that you can do is just to avoid this getting too far, and these animals getting too far in their medical condition, is the same thing. See something, say something, report it to police. And second, you can check in with them on their Facebook pages. They often write these updates on how their dogs are doing, what they need from the community, whether it be a foster or whether they need medical donations. Sometimes they're just looking for someone to adopt an animal that has recovered from that abuse or from that neglect. Always good to see those happy stories, but they often post really good updates on their Facebook pages on what they need and how you can help.
With the pandemic, there's been so many people stuck at home and staying home and working from home. Has the police said that there's been an increase in these abuse situations happening during the pandemic, or has it actually been the opposite?
Well, police told me in our interview that they've actually seen a decrease in the felony animal cruelty cases. He did say, though, there's a caveat there. It could be because the animal control has changed some of their protocols and how they handle certain cases and how much they take on versus what they are giving that one sole detective. He also said that there is a perception right now that there is more going on, but he claims that that's simply because there's more media attention to it, more social media attention to it, which isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing, of course, to have awareness out there, but it's something that people are interested in, and it's something that the media covers. So he says there can be a perception that there's more happening. But if you talk to some of the rescue organizations, they claim they've seen an increase with people getting too frustrated, not having money to properly feed their dogs or their cats, so just letting them go hungry or letting them go long periods of time without having any sort of their medical conditions checked. So two different sides of the story there. Either way, something to keep a very close eye on.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And for even more on today's big story, visit ktnv.com. Stay with us for more local coverage right after the break, right here on KTNV Streaming, Las Vegas News on your time.